My name is Benedict Owusu. It's a Thursday morning here on the AM Show. We have to do some sports. And yesterday, as many as 8 matches were played in the UEFA Champions League. Also, 2 games were played at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. One of 16 games which the Black Starlets played one of those games. Their game was against the African counterpart, that was Niger. Ghana won that game by 2-0. Eric Ayi and Danso scored those 2 goals to ensure that the Black Starlets progressed to the next stage of the competition. That's the quarterfinals. Got highlights of that game for you.
The Under-17 FIFA World Cup, when in the round of 16, Ghana met Niger on Wednesday, looking to, just as Mali had done the day before, book a spot to the quarterfinals of the competition. And after a half of huffing but not much joy in the final third, it was the young Black Stars that had a chance to go into the break in the lead. A foul on skipper Eric Ayi was spotted by the ref, who awarded a spot kick. Ayi on target for his 3rd strike of the competition. The Ghanaians wasted a great opportunity to make it too early in the second half, a chance that should have ended in the back of the net and not over. But it didn't matter, as in the final moments of regulation time, they doubled up through a bullet from Richard Danso, coming off the bench to confirm his side's place in the last 8, where Mali lie in wait.
So Ghana won by 2-0. That was the standard from Richard Danso. Also, Eric Ayi scored a penalty. He had another penalty and he fluffed it, and it ended 2-0 in favor of the Black Starlets. Well, their coach, Pakus Fabian, had this to say after the game.
Definitely, we are here. Everybody, I believe every team that has qualified has that mentality to win the trophy. So we are also thinking when Africans will play each other, we know each other so well, and therefore it's very difficult. Even though we could have scored so many goals, it was a little bit difficult in the beginning until the penalty came and calmed our nerves. So it's going to be another cagey encounter, but we are prepared for anything.
So that was Pakus Fabian, coach of the Black Starlets team. So 2 matches yesterday were played in the round of 16 tie. Ghana, Niger, which the Black Starlets won by 2-0. The other game was between Brazil and Honduras, and Brazil won that game by 2-0. Sorry, they won that game by 3-0. So there you go. The quarterfinal pairings for you. Mali, Ghana is happening on Saturday. And also we'll have the USA will come up against England. Tough game. Spain, Iran is also happening, and Germany, Brazil is also happening. So 2 matches on Saturday. First will be the Ghana-Mali game, 11:30. Then we have USA, England. Then on Sunday, Spain will take on Iran, with Germany coming up against Brazil. So away from the Under-17 tournament in India, we have to do the UEFA Champions League. And last night, as many as 8 matches were played in the group stages from Group A up to Group D. So Chelsea were going to play Roma. Well, Chelsea going into this game had lost their last 2 games against Manchester City and also against Crystal Palace, and they needed a win at Stamford Bridge. Well, it happened that Chelsea, after getting the first goal, had to rely on a goal from the man Eden Hazard to draw level with AS Roma. 3-3, their game ended at Stamford Bridge.
Top of Group C in the Champions League after 2 matches, Chelsea hosted Roma in London, looking to bounce back from their Premier League defeat to Crystal Palace on Saturday. And bounce back is exactly what the Blues did in the 11th minute of the match.
And again, this time goes for goal! Brilliantly taken by David Luiz.
Roma were relatively quiet until the half hour as Raja Nainggolan came storming from the right to test Thibaut Courtois at his near post. The action was end-to-end, and Chelsea would bring their fans to their feet with 8 minutes to go in the half.
Takes on Fazio, and Hazard! Brilliant goal by Chelsea!
Alexander Kolarov proved surplus to Manchester City requirements, but the Yugoslavian defender showed his value to get his team back in the game as Roma went into half-time 1 goal down. While Kolarov was causing all kinds of problems for the Blues, it was his former teammate Edin Dzeko to bring parity to the contest with a stunning strike, and the Bosnian would get another goal minutes later in what was turning into a breathtaking match.
It's Dzeko again! 3-2 to Roma!
Fans were being left on the edge of their seats in arguably the contest of the competition so far, and it took another twist 5 minutes after La Magica took the lead.
He has his second, and this sensational game has a sixth goal.
Dzeko was in a near-perfect position to nearly add a third goal to his day and a fourth for Roma, but the action ended with a 3-3 thrilling draw.
So AS Roma getting a 3-3 draw at the expense of Chelsea. That game was played at Stamford Bridge. Well, Manchester United made it 3 out of 3 wins after they defeated Benfica in Portugal.
Benfica and Manchester United had faced each other 6 times in the Champions League before they met in Lisbon on Wednesday night. The Red Devils were coming off a 0-0 draw with Liverpool at the weekend, and the Portuguese were 1-0 winners in the third round of the Taça de Portugal on the same day, so they were arguably the more informed side and were first to threaten, with Eduardo Salvio latching onto Alex Grimaldo's cross. United battled to find the target in the first half, with Marcus Rashford off balance when headering over the top and Henrik Mkhitaryan firing wildly wide, the match going into the interval all square. Nemanja Matic had been quiet in the contest but reminded home fans of the threat he posed just before the hour, and the match got its opening goal in bizarre fashion.
Oh, is that over the line? It could well be. The assistant behind there, I think he's given it. Oh, it's on the goal accreditation system.
Closing in on the final 10 minutes, and substitute for the Red Devils, Anthony Martial, got the better of Douglas Pereira, but not Mile Svilar at his near post. It was not exactly a vintage United performance, but produced 3 points nonetheless, as the Red Devils won their third match from 3 in Group A.
So Manchester United won that game by a 0-0 against Benfica in Portugal. Paris Saint-Germain simply unstoppable in the UEFA Champions League. They went away to play Anderlecht in Belgium, and they won that game by 4-0.
Paris Saint-Germain have been scintillating since the start of the season. The signatures of Kylian Mbappe and Neymar have not just boosted their popularity, but also their attacking style. They met Anderlecht on Wednesday night, looking to make it 3 out of 3 Group B wins. And it took them only 3 minutes to add to their 8 group stage goals, with young Mbappe blasting the ball past Matt Sells for the opener. They threw everything at the Belgian side throughout the half, on the hunt for a second. It finally came before the break, with the talismanic Edison Cavani next on the score sheets. They completed the holy trinity in the second stanza when Neymar got involved, squeezing the ball past a number of bodies for their third. The game was then put well out of reach in the closing stages when Angel Di Maria finished things off with a delightful dink. 4-0 for a 5-star PSG.
So amazing performance from Paris Saint-Germain as they defeated Anderlecht by 4-0 in that game played in the UEFA Champions League yesterday. We still have to stay with the Champions League, and last year's losing finalists, that's Juventus, were at home to play Sporting CP, and Juve won that game by 2-1 in Turin.
Twice a runner-up in the Champions League in the last 3 seasons, Juventus have not been themselves this season. A win and a loss in Europe and a loss to Lazio in Serie A this past weekend represented their form before hosting Sporting. Massimiliano Allegri's mood would not have been improved in the 12th minute of the game.
Oh, and it runs all the way through for Gelson Martins! And would you believe it bounces off Alex Sandro?
Searching for the spark that has been the highlight of the Italian side's play in recent seasons, Sami Khedira forced a save from Rui Patricio before Miralem Pjanic delivered for the home fans in style.
He steps away, Pjanic! Back with a bang!
Juve may well have taken a half-time lead had it not been for Patricio, who kept out Gonzalo Higuain at his near post. There was little goalmouth action in the second half until the final 6.5 minutes of the match.
What an impact! Mandzukic with the header, but made by a glorious cross from Douglas Costa.
Despite not being at their fluid best, I Bianconeri had found a way to come from behind and secure all 3 points for their second win of their European campaign.
So 2-1, that game involving Juventus and Sporting CP ended in Turin yesterday. Barcelona, they finished off Olympiacos at the Camp Nou by 3-1. Lionel Messi scored his 100th goal, scored a second goal before he set up the final goal. That was a third goal for Barcelona, and there was a red card for Barca. Gerard Piqué was sent off following the second bookable offense. Bayern Munich also were at the Allianz Arena where they played against Celtic. They won that game by 3-0. That was a very first win for their new manager, that's Jupp Heynckes. He's returning as the interim boss, and he took charge of his first UEFA Champions League game and won by 3-0. So we've got highlights of the two matches for you. First, the Barca Olympiacos game, then Bayern Munich Celtic game, which was played at the Allianz Arena.
Barcelona have been perfect in the UEFA Champions League so far this season. 2 wins on the spin, no goals conceded. They were hoping for more of the same when they took on Olympiacos on match day 3. The Greek side were their own worst enemies in the opening stages, with nerves getting the better of them. Young defender Dimitrios Nicolaou deflected the ball into the back of his own net. However, Barca had a few blunders of their own. Gerard Piqué was shown a second yellow card after handling the ball, knocking it into the back of his own net. The goal was disallowed and he was sent off. It didn't matter too much for the Catalans, who found their second through none other than Lionel Messi. His free kick just having enough on it to get the better of the Olympiacos number 1, the Argentines' 100th European goal. Luca Digne then found their third with a fine strike, the fullback grabbing a rare goal for himself. Nicolaou, who scored the own goal, made up for himself, bagging in the consolation goal late on. 3-1 at the Camp Nou, total domination from the home side. Munich have looked shaky at times this season. They were hoping to put in an assured and solid performance against Scottish champion Celtic on Wednesday night in their third Group B encounter. The Germans started strong and soon found the goal to represent their dominance, a true poacher's goal from captain Thomas Müller, who was waiting at the back post for his time to shine. The Scots knew that it was going to be a long evening when Bayern doubled their lead before the half-hour mark. Joshua Kimmich with a looping header into the top corner. There was smooth sailing by the early stages of the second half as Mats Hummels made it 3. The towering defender peeled off his marker before giving Ian Robben's delivery the proper treatment. Müller almost bagged his brace late on, but he was denied. A great save from Craig Gordon. Damage limitation at the end, with Bayern far too strong, 3-0.
So Bayern Munich won by 3-0. Earlier I saw how Barcelona also won their game by 3-1. So full result of matches that were played in the UEFA Champions League last night. Benfica Manchester United went 1-0 in favor of Manchester United, and CSK Moscow lost 2-0 to Basel, and Anderlecht Paris Saint-Germain ended 4-0 in favor of Paris Saint-Germain, with Bayern Munich beating Celtic by 3-0 in Karabakh. Atletico Madrid ended goalless. Very, very shocking result in the Champions League yesterday. Chelsea 3, Roma 3, Barcelona 3, Olympiacos 1, and Juventus also defeated Sporting CP by 2-1. That's how we end sports this morning. Thanks so much for your company. My name is Benedict Owusu. As always, get to the My Joy Online Sports page and read more sports stories for yourself. And if you want to watch some of our shows, you can also get to the My Joy Online Sports page. You get the sports shows here, the Joy News Desk. That's the sports segment on Joy News Desk. Also Sports Today, and if let's say you couldn't join us when we started the AM Sports, you can make your way to the My Joy Online Sports page and watch the show again. Thanks so much for your company. We are back tomorrow with more sports news. Until then, stay blessed and enjoy the rest of the program.